So the shop and the cellars in the air have been here for 252 years. The cellars were built in 1766. 2 years ago, when we celebrated our 250th anniversary, we did quite a lot of digging and homework into the early history of the company, and basically what we found out, it was set up as a front for a pretty serious smuggling operation. So it's a very checkered past, but it's an incredible history, and the cellars are just something to behold.
Fantastic space which we use day in, day out, not only for our customer reserves, but in fact it's a perfect space for doing wine tastings. Often we host tastings there, corporate tastings, private tastings, and of course we've got a wine club which we run as well.
Bridget Jones, footballers' wives? Well, if that's your first thought at the mention of the word Chardonnay, it's time to get you out of the ABC Club. I'm Camilla, wine educator at Corney and Barrow, and I hope to bust some of the myths of this often misunderstood grape variety. Myth number 1. I tried a Chardonnay that I didn't like, so I don't like this grape variety. Well, actually Chardonnay is one of the most versatile grapes and suits a wide range of climates and winemaking techniques. It is used to produce an array of different wine styles, which is both its strength, but perhaps also its weakness. Whatever your preference of white wine, there will be a Chardonnay for you, but it's how to find it. How do you know what to expect? A good place to start is to think about where the grapes have grown and think about the climate. A Chardonnay made in cooler regions will typically display green and citrus fruit aromas. The wines will be light-bodied, elegant, and often have a racy, mouth-watering sensation from higher acidity levels. These wines are most often unoaked. As you move into warmer climates, the style begins to change. The grapes are riper and therefore produce wines with more body and more moderate levels of acidity, so the wines will feel softer and richer. The aromas of the wine will also change, with stone fruits and tropical fruits dominating. Not all of these wines are oaky, but you are more likely to find the use of oak in warmer regions. Myth number 2, all Chardonnays are heavily oaked. But first, let me explain what we mean when we talk about a wine being oaked. For many white grape varieties, neutral vessels such as stainless steel tanks are preferred for winemaking. However, oak barrels are commonly used for the Chardonnay variety. This has the effect of softening acidity and adding body and texture to the wine. New aromas can be introduced to the wine, such as vanilla, toast, spicy aromas. But typically this will be for wines made in the warmer regions, where the extra sunshine and heat produce riper fruit aromas in the grapes. Using oak with more delicate fruit aromas, usually found in cooler regions, will often have the more negative effect of overwhelming them. But it's not a one-size-fits-all when it comes to oak, and factors such as the length of time in barrel, the size and type of barrel, and the age of the barrel will determine how pronounced the oak aromas will be in a wine. Chardonnay and oak gained a bit of a bad rap in the 90s, and it has been a hard fight to shake this off. The bad press was a result of some winemakers cutting corners in an effort to make cheaper wines. So instead of using oak barrels, oak powder or even oak essence was used to try and recreate the flavours in the wine. This resulted in a wine which is aggressively oaked and unbalanced, and you could liken it to the difference of marinating food with spices and herbs overnight compared to adding them at the time of cooking. The flavour will be there, but it won't be as well integrated. Oak was also sometimes used to try to hide flaws in the wines. Poorer quality grapes produce wines with less flavour intensity and complexity, so oak was used to mask these, but again the wine was unbalanced. With the right quality of grapes, oak is used to harmoniously balance and enhance the flavours in the wine. Myth number 3, all Chardonnays are cheap. Well, Chardonnay is used to produce some of the world's most prized and sought after white wines of the world. The biggest producer of Chardonnay is France, but you often don't see the variety on the label. As with many French wines, you'll find the name of the region on the label instead. The classic region of Burgundy is considered to produce the finest expressions of Chardonnay. To the north lies the area of Chablis, delivering lighter styles with a signature smoky and minerally character. A similar style is found in the Macon. The heart of Burgundy is known as the Côte d'Or. Here the style of Chardonnay is richer, more complex and often oaked. The most famous names here are Meursault and Puligny-Montrachet. Did you know Chardonnay is also a key varietal in the sparkling wines of Champagne? This is either as part of the blend or as the sole variety of the Blanc de Blanc styles. A close second in volume is the US, and the most important state is California, with notable regions such as Napa Valley. Compared to the wines of France, Chardonnay in the US tends to have more intense aromas. This is fueled by the long ripening period from the cooling fogs in the coastal regions. Usually the wines display pronounced oak aromas. Australia is the third biggest producer, with styles ranging from large volume inexpensive wines to premium examples which display pronounced fruit aromas and well integrated oak from areas such as Adelaide Hills. And widely grown around the world, Chardonnay produces a huge range of different styles, and Chile, South Africa and New Zealand all have their own examples to explore.